Mane fa say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de o se dem yopo.
What do we want? Simple life, food, clothing, shelter, and good education. We don't want to travel outside this country. I'd like to start on the same protocol that my earlier speakers have stood on and greet everyone who is here, especially my fellow youth who are here. So I'll say hello to you all. My name is Festus. My friends call me Baku. But today, I like to call you friends. So after here, you can call me Baku because I'm here to talk about something which is very dear to all of us: education. We all watched the video that was played a few minutes ago, and a lot of the ladies complained. What was their biggest complaint? They finished senior high school and can't go to university, so their lives have taken a better turn. President John Mahama says this is going to be different. He sees a better future with the youth. When I was much smaller, I was told that I am the future leader. That future is now. Personally, in this current state, I can't see it. But there's hope for all of us in the people, John and Jane. So all I ask for all of you is that you walk with me as I journey with you through education. I'll not go too far back, but then we can all agree that the progressive free senior high school education was started by our very own President John Dramani Mahama. Fast forward, President Akufo-Addo, he extends it to today's students, and that's where we are. But in this current state, our educational system is not the very best. We have overcrowding in our public schools. We have people who have finished senior high school and can't progress into the universities. Now let me highlight a few of the policies that will change all of this and make our educational system better, so that our 24-hour economy can work very well, and all the other wonderful policies would have Ghanaian hands to make them work. The first I'll talk about is President John Mahama promises to improve secondary education by doing three things. The first thing is ensuring a sustainable funding for free senior high school education. And you will admit with me that our free senior high school has been touted to be the biggest achievement, yet there's no fund to support it. You can't claim this is your biggest policy and not support it. Where do you want to take the money from? Thank you. We will also complete the construction of the E-blocks and expand infrastructure to guarantee access to all students. About this, a few days ago I was watching news on TV3, and they did a documentary on how the E-blocks have stalled. And there was this particular community. Their people have to travel all the way to Tamale and further places so that the students who complete GHS can have secondary education. And all they asked for was that the current government complete it. But we all know that is not going to happen. So I'm charging you, for the betterment of the younger ones and all those behind us, please, on 7th December, don't sit in your house. If you are watching me, step out and vote for the completion of our E-learning. We saw a lot of the artisans in the video before, telling us how a lot of people are falling short. What President Mahama is promising is that there will be a commencement and an establishment of a regional TVET Center of Excellence, which will be integrated with fabrication laboratories, which are equipped with 3D printers, not just any kind of printer, but 3D printers, and other state-of-the-art facilities to promote innovation and stimulate real work environments. With these, we move from the old way of training people to a more globalized system where we train manufacturers and thinkers who understand the system. This one I want all of you to hear. President Mahama promises to extend free SHS to cover the private senior high school. Not only is he promising to dedicate a fund to free senior high school, but he's extending it to cover the private senior high school. What do we do? We have students who can't go into the public senior high schools, basically because the public senior high schools are full. But we have empty private senior high schools. If we can educate people at the same cost that we are educating people in the public senior high schools, in the private secondary schools, why do we leave the private secondary schools over there? Let's move them there and pay the same cost for them. And I think this is a very wonderful initiative. Policies I've mentioned yet. But if you're not excited, I'm sure the next one is going to shock you. I want you all to say with me, no fees stress. No fees stress. What are we saying? President John Mahama is simply promising that one, for all university entrants into level 100, you are not paying academic fees. No academic fees for all level 100 students. We've heard many stories. We've heard many stories about students who finish school with 6 A's, 7 A's, 8 A's, and we have to start crowdfunding for them so they can enter into university. All of that will be a thing of the past in the next NDC administration. The second part of this policy is the student loan transfer of class. The student loan is basically dead as it is. When President Mahama comes back, he will revamp the student loan transfer. And all those who struggle after the first year free academic tuition in university can apply to the student loan transfer so they are able to continue their education without stress. So when I say education with Mahama, you say no fees stress. Education with Mahama. No fees stress. Education with Mahama. No fees stress. I remember my time in KMST very well. I was given the prestigious hall, the rest can argue, Katanga Hall. Yes, I was a fellow. But the beauty of it was that I enjoyed every part of my first year. The rest of the time I had to go and find another hostel somewhere. Mahama is saying, when he comes back, policies like in, out will be a thing of the past. Why? Because he's going to work with the private sector to ensure that all the universities have very good bed facilities, and we call that the bed for all policy. You see, this problem doesn't stand alone because currently we have hostels charging exorbitant prices from students, and some students can pay. But with this policy, we are sure of a regulated scheme and students will be able to pay their hostel fees. I mean, people are paying 23,000 just to sleep in a hostel in Lagos. 28,000 fees. I mean, that's a huge amount. But with President Mahama, we are giving beds to all, so we call it the bed for all policy. The next policy I'll talk about is very dear to me, and it reminds me of my friend Kitty Waja. So a few months ago, she called a few friends together and gathered some sanitary towels and took them to Wenchi in the upper part of Ghana. The captivating part of this was the smiles you see on the faces of these young girls as they received the sanitary pads. Someone mentioned that if it is her last money and she buys a sanitary towel, what will she eat? President Mahama, when he comes back, will reintroduce the free sanitary towels for all students in senior high school. There are lots of educational policies. So for want of time, let me just highlight them. In the next administration, we will scrap the quota for admission into nursing and teacher training colleges to expand enrollments. Also, we will ensure prompt posting of trained health professionals and trained teachers. We will establish free Wi-Fi for all public second cycle and tertiary education institutions. And this is not going to be in the form it is currently. We will fully implement the national TVET qualification system. Now, before I walk away, let me remind you that it was this government, acting through the former educational minister, who now is aspiring to be a vice president of this country. Yes, our current government. They collateralized Get Fund. So much that now it's barely hard to disburse money to students, and we have students in Morocco crying. But the NDC is saying that when they come, we are going to decollateralize Get Fund. And when this is done, it will ensure prompt disbursement of funds. We need to fight for our educational system. We need to fight for ourselves. Because after all, tell me where we're gonna run, after making it all like a better place to live. Answer me now, Mr. Big Man, you go collateralize, Get Fund and we need, we'll go to cry. It's simple. That's all we want. Thank you.
God have mercy upon us.
If you give me thousands of Ghana cards and $1, I will choose the dollar.
Hey, Mumu, campaign at Tokyo. It is smoking.
Oh, Bemiami. Oni kwa kutia, mu Bemiami. Odoe, mu Bemiami. Oni kwa kutia, mu Bemiami. Odo,
Working right here, dear. Working right here.
Kanokre, Otrofo, Odo, you want me to do more? Okraman Ferso Besuni, yes, we are dear bro, better so. Shame on you. Abaya the bot touchy, yet the baby bot bandebi. Sana will be Miami. You can lie your way to power. You can do all propaganda. Dollar rate will expose you. The dollar has broken jail. You are pathological liar. You lie for living. Lies are your hobby. Google and Wikipedia recognize you as a liar. Your talent is to lie. You promised me heaven and earth. You promised me the whole universe. None of them has been fulfilled. You said if I give you power, I will live like in heaven. Look at the way I'm suffering. Who call him? What do you trouble my mind?
What trouble my own?
Oh, mambo 47. Oda.
Working track, dear.
Oda.
Working track.
Cano cry. Otrofo. Oda. You want me to say more? I have something to tell you. Sit down and cast your mind back. You see how you destroyed yourself. People see you as a joker. They see you as comedian. People see you like Mr. Ibu. They see you like Louis. So Dr. Lice, change your ways. As someone me can watch you now. Dr. Lice, change your ways. So your judgment day is coming. Oh, what ya na? What ya futu amede mauno? What ya na? Sisa wakwane bebwa. What ya na? Enya uhosa uyo nyansafo. Kwa kutia no bro na wampa wasam. Ode oye na juma teke mido. Makasa yue owa swantie mi.
Dedi kama amena Pendream TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, Pendream TV.